Our livelihood as professional entertainers depends on reading the audience. And really good entertainers, it's being present as the audience responds, and they inform the next choice. With the medical, with nurses, with medical people, you want them to be present as well. So reading a room is very, very important. And that has nothing to do with putting on a blood pressure cuff or any of the many, many tasks that nurses are asked to do. It has to do with establishing being present, and that has tremendous power, to simply be present, with not being attached to the past or the future, but simply being present with children or with anyone and establishing a rapport with them.
Hi.
Hi.
Is it okay if we come in?
Yeah. A child can instinctively feel if you are comfortable with yourself and with them. And that makes all the difference. If you're comfortable with yourself, if you extend that comfort to them, they're safe. And when they're safe and they feel good, we do better than safe. We find that wonderful positive sense of play with children, adults, and staff. And when we find it, we amplify it, and we get that room shimmering with that wonderful, healthy, vital feeling of joy. But short of that, by simply being present and comfortable, children sense that and are feel safe, and they're much more compliant. We are there for the joyful, healthy part of the children. And it's not hard to find. It's not hard to find. We will look into that room, we'll feel what's going on, we'll make a proposal, there'll be a response that comes back. If it's the one that is filled with a sense of play, then it's almost like fanning the flame. We'll amplify that sense of play, and before you know it, the child is healthy for that time. They're engaged in play, wonder, awe, joy, all of those positive aspects of herself, and the parent is bathed for that time in the sense that their child is healthy in front of them, without denying any of what's going on. There's several things that we hope that the students here take away. Maybe if I were to narrow it down to one, how powerful they are in the simple reality of their caring and their humanity. We take it for granted. They don't think about it because they're particularly with nurses, they're so busy, and with student nurses, even busier, doing tasks. So one of the first things that we help them with is empower them. So before you do anything, the simple fact that you care, that's important. And it's powerful. It's much more powerful than you think. So this is one of the messages of the workshop. We certainly don't want to turn nurses into clowns. Clearly, no. We do not want to turn them into clowns. What we want them to do and what we nurture in them is for them to embrace their own sense of joy and delight, and everyone is unique in that, and to have that be a part of them, have that be present with them as they perform their nursing tasks. So we want them to realize, yes, they're fantastic without doing anything, and we want them to know that they don't have to divorce any part of themselves, particularly their joy. They can bring all of their humanity into the workplace, into the play place with their job.
Freak out! Freak out!
The things we do right off the bat with the student nurses is we engage them in play, and
who called it?
And that opens them up. It opens up the channels of communication. It creates an environment of safety, of kind of a shimmering vitality. And I think the clown does that. If you align yourself with what's right away you're off to a really good start. You can align yourself with what's healthy with the child. And you can bring all of your humanity there. And it's not just feel good, let's laugh, joy, we're always going to be happy. It's the other side of it. It's experiencing loss, feelings of frustration, helplessness sometimes. But to bring all of yourself there with those feelings and with the feelings of joy and delight, that makes it not just bearable, that's a gift. That's a gift. In our experience over 22 years working alongside the nurses, they are the hardest working people that we're aware of. They are the front line caregivers. It's so wonderfully ironic. 22 years ago when we started this program, it was the nursing profession who informed us. Because we were there, we were professional clowns, we hadn't worked in hospitals before. It was the nurses who said, the child's room is a sanctuary, no painful procedures there, we empower them there. That led us to totally empowering the child, asking permission to come in, standing outside the doorway. And now, 22 years later, when we're able to bring back lessons to the student nurses, it's just a wonderful feeling of fulfillment. Those kids never disappoint us. The parents never. It's always there, and we always have a ball in one way or another.
This is the worst case of chicken pox we've ever seen.
We look in, and we see many things that are ill or that have dis-ease about them, and we have a choice. We can align ourselves with that, or we can align ourselves with what's right, because what's right is there. It might have to look a little bit, might have to try a few different things before that rightness comes back to you, and then you amplify it and you're off and running.